guys, time for a theory video. This is a unique one. And again, I say that a lot. I don't hear much talk about this subject, and I've given it some thought. The subject is why the guitar is tuned the way it is, as far as the pitches, not as far as whether it's in tune or not. And what are some of the other possibilities that are on the guitar, or maybe even on other instruments other than guitar, and how do they add up, and what's the story? If you're interested, take a look. Because I've thought about this. Something told me to do this video. It's not really about music theory. It's not really about guitar technique. It's not even per se about how to play music. It's just a discussion on tuning. So let's go into it. Okay, first of all, there's the violin and the mandolin, and those are both tuned C, G, D, A. I think. No, G, D, A, E. That's all fifth, so it would be tuned to... Okay? And the viola and the mandola are C, G, D, A. That would be... Okay, both those two instruments have 4 strings tuned in fifths. That's cool, but on guitar that's really hard to tune in fifths, because even though I thought of a composite tuning C, G, D, A, E, all fifths straight up the board, C, G, D, A, E, 4 fifths with 5 strings, C, G, D, A, E, combination of the viola and the violin, or the mandola or the mandolin. The problem was it was really hard. You had to play 4 notes on a string just to stay in position in major scales, and 3 notes per string for pentatonic scales, and it's really hard to stretch that far and not lose your hand position. You'd have to go in position differently, but that's hard stretching, and I got so uncomfortable with the stretching of it, I just gave it up and went back to tuning in fourths with the major third. So there's that. If you didn't get that, check it out again. I don't want to try to be redundant, but that's what I said. Then there's other like the ukulele. Well, the ukulele is the top 4 strings of the 5th fret of a guitar, so it would be G, C, E, A. Cute, but guitar wants more strings than that. Then there's the banjo. That's tuned to open G with an extra note. G chord is G, B, D, so it's all those notes, but there's an open drone string, and there's all that. Bass is tuned an octave lower than the lowest 4 strings of the guitar. So it's A, B, G. Sometimes they add other strings. You can have a C string on top or a B string on the bottom, but you want more strings than that on guitar, and they're not as low. So that brings us to guitar tuning. First of all, guitar only wanted to be to play comfortably in position on the guitar. You want to play for diatonic scales 3 notes per string, and pentatonic scales 2 notes per string. That way you're not stretching all over the place like you do when you tune in fifths. So let's talk about that. You want to tune in fourths. Well, there's a possibility you could tune it all in fourths. You could go E, A, D, G, C, F. E, A, D, G, C, F. That would all be all perfect. But the problem with that is the high string would be an F and the low string would be an E, and that's a very dissonant. It's actually a 2 octaves plus a minor second, or you could think of it as a minor 9th plus an octave, or you could think of it as a I don't know what it would be, a minor 16th, LOL. But the problem with that is that when you go to play chords, it's comfortable to play a bar chord where the and the bottom strings are the same, rather than have that half step off. That way you have to move your finger around, and you get weird dissonances on one fret and all that. So that didn't really work for me. So then what I found was that I'm just pretending like I'm inventing the tuning here. So instead of tuning all in fourths, let's tune to a minor pentatonic scale, which could also be thought of as a major pentatonic scale in a different way, but let's talk about minor. So if you want to tune to a minor pentatonic scale all on 1 fret, that's genius, because that way when you bar, that's all notes of a minor pentatonic scale. Not only that, but the root of the minor pentatonic scale is the highest note and the lowest note. Beautiful. It works. And that way, with pentatonic scales, we play 2 notes per string. For diatonic scales and other things, it's 3 notes per string. It's all in position. So then let's talk about how to tune it within a minor pentatonic scale. Well, minor pentatonic scale is actually 5 straight notes on the circle of fifths. You would think pentatonic is 5, and so 5. There would be 5 notes on a circle of fifths, and it's all so in a row, 5 notes on the circle of fifths. So in A minor, that would be, the circle of fifths would be C, G, D, A, E. That would be an A minor pentatonic scale. Let's go with that. If you're tuning in fourths, you're going to go backwards on the circle of fifths, which would be either an upward circle of fourths or a downward circle of fifths. So you would have E, A, D, G, C. Okay, that would be E, A, D, G, C. But okay, E, A, D, G, C. Let me think if I want to do it that way. Yeah, E, D, A. Yeah, okay. E, A, D, G, C. Okay, so I'll do it that way. So for that would be an A minor pentatonic scale. So you want the A to be the highest note or the lowest note. So we're gonna say the lowest note being an A. Let's go with the highest note being an A. That's an A. I said E, A, D, G, C. Wait, I think I said E, A, D, G, C. Yes, I did. So I'm going to go, the E is the highest note of that circle of fifths, which is the 5th of the root A. So I'm going to make that the B string, because that's a perfect 4th below the A, which makes it a perfect 5th above the A. So the second string will be an E, then E, A, then E, A. That's the highest string. Jump down 2 octaves. The low string is, and then I said G, G. Then I said C. Then that leaves a gap. The extreme 2 notes on a circle of on 5 straight notes on a circle of fifths is a major third. So if the circle of fifths backwards is E, A, D, G, C, then the third is going to be C to E. Check it out. And that C to E is that between the second and third strings major third, because C to E is a major third. So that's C, E. That major third between the second and the third strings is actually the outer 2 notes of the 5 straight circle of fifths notes on the circle of fifths, and that works in any key. So I did that on A. It works on all the other keys too. So let's talk about why they chose to tune it in E versus maybe some other note. As the open pentatonic scale, or the open thing. Okay, first let's do E real quickly while we're here. E would be, the circle of fifths for E would be G, D, A, E, B. Okay, backwards that's B, E, A, D, G. B would be the second string. E, high string. G off the then A, E, and then G to E. The third, which if it's E, A, D, G, B, wait, if it's B, E, A, D, G, then the outer 2 notes on that is G to B, which is a major third, and G to B. And that winds up the E minor pentatonic is the open. Here I'm doing it on the 12th. It would also be the open also. That would be E minor pentatonic scale, but all on fret if you play it that way. Okay, last thing is, why did they choose E versus maybe some other note to be the open string? Well, first of all, the neck size, string size is cool. It works out. It's a good range. But why didn't they make it D? Or why didn't they make it E flat? Or which is also D sharp? Or why didn't they make it some other weird thing? Well, first of all, here's what's interesting. They wanted the open strings, or the 12 fret strings, to be all natural notes. So they didn't want to make it D sharp because that'd be all sharps, or E flat because that'd be all flats. So they didn't make it that. And they didn't want to make it because that'd be too short of a guitar. So they had 2 choices. They could make the open string. To me, they did. They could make the open string an E minor pentatonic or a D minor pentatonic, because both those choices have all natural notes because the C major scale has a D minor pentatonic scale in it, and the C major scale has a E minor pentatonic scale in it, and the C major scale is all natural notes or white notes on the keyboard. So that they could have either made the 12th fret or open pentatonic or D in my book. That way, okay. But why they choose not? Why did they make it D? Well, first choice, they thought if they want to make the neck the right size, D would be a little slow. The strings would be kind of loose and sloppy, and it sounds like Nirvana, but I love Nirvana. And then that would be like too sloppy, or if they made the neck longer, it'd be too wide to play. But theoretically, they also wanted something else. If D were the open, pentatonic, then the second fret would be all natural notes. E, because if you're tuning in D, E would be the second fret, and that's a little awkward because then it just that way you would have major 7th or 11th fret notes if you were in open D minor pentatonic that make it uncomfortable because they figured playing a major 7th that has a note, the white note, isn't as pretty somehow than playing a minor 7th be the white note, and then if it's in D, then the 10th fret is all white notes, and then all the notes on the E minor pentatonic all have a minor 7th, which is a 10th fret, going before them. And that way, and the 11th fret is E flat or D pentatonic, E flat minor pentatonic or D sharp minor pentatonic, which is all the black notes on the keyboard. So that makes more sense. It just seems more pretty to have the top 12th fret is all white notes. That's E minor pentatonic. The 10th fret is all white notes. That's a D minor pentatonic. And the 11th fret, which is the odd black notes on the keyboard. Voila! If you play the D minor pentatonic and the E minor notes all together, you get a C major scale, but starting on D or E or whatever note you want to start on. Because a C major scale has a D scale in it, and all the notes in between that make black notes are the E pentatonic or D sharp pentatonic, which is on the fret, and that just feels really pretty. The white notes all being all the white notes, all the 10 notes are white notes, which together make a C major scale, starting whatever note you want to start on, or all white keys on the keyboard, and then all the black notes on the keyboard, E flat minor pentatonic scale or D sharp minor pentatonic scale, and that way it's all right here. It's all beautiful. I mean, if you play this, it's actually a C major scale or D minor pentatonic scale or E minor pentatonic scale, and that's a weird way of playing it. But it's not that weird to Steve Vai. He likes a lick that I like. I was going to do this, but he takes the octave. Let's see here in D. He takes the octave straight across on the tapping hand, which would be 10th fret, and then 22nd fret, 10th fret on the bottom, and then taps up 2 frets and goes across on the left hand, making a clever, like in this case, a D minor pentatonic thing, because a D Dorian thing, I should say. A D Dorian scale has a D minor pentatonic and an E minor pentatonic in it, so he's playing on that. The 10th fret's barred, that's D minor pentatonic. 12th fret barred, that's E minor pentatonic. 22nd fret barred, that's D minor pentatonic. Play them all together. That's a clever way of playing a D Dorian scale. Isn't that cool? Add that sloppy. Famous big treble solo. I was trying too hard. Let me try it again. No, not there. Sorry. It's been a long time since I learned that solo. Let me try it. Sorry about this. How's it go? I didn't practice for this. Let's see what you're doing here. I just had to show you a little part here. And it goes. Got it. Here it is, guys. This time I swear I got it. Just a little there, but the point is he does this lick. It's an F sharp Dorian lick because it has F sharp minor pentatonic down here, G sharp on the 4th fret barred, and then the 12th fret and the 14th fret F sharp. And it goes down to the E. F sharp Dorian is in E major, and the solo it goes from between E Lydian, Mi major, or E Ionian, and then F sharp Dorian is in E major, and it fits. And he plays for the F sharp Dorian. Oh man, I don't know why I couldn't get that solo right. Wait, I got that here. Okay, try one last time. Try this. I did it. God. Well, without practice and without rehearsal, that's a hard solo, and I haven't played it in like since I put it on my YouTube channel like a few months ago. I love that solo though, but like I said, love you guys.